Alrighty. So, last time, with the Whims of Fate, Rada and Erden had a conversation with the physician, who apparently knew Tong and actually traveled with her. And apparently Tong found that he was, quote, too happy. But the physician recounted his adventures. Rada effectively blue screened, and Erden brought him to speak with the rest of the active party. Going first to Brina. Um, and then finding a day to show off the sonic screwdriver. They tested Lightning Lash with the physician volunteering as the test dummy. And eventually started talking about future events before realizing that he was saying too much and started running away. With Erden in pursuit, got a message from Gloro saying things were getting serious, and Uther's getting demoralized, and Aurelius is something's happening to Aurelius.
Mom, pom, pom. Excuse you. Yeah. So, excitement. Lots of excitement from lots of people. Okay. So, we'll start with Erden, because you just got a message. How are you going to react?
We'll probably like slow down and stop and realize, oh, damn it. Adventure's calling again, and she doesn't like being on hold. Okay. Damn it, why did this have to happen? Alright, and then he goes back to the rest. He goes back to Idea and Brina. Like, okay, do either of you know what time it is?
I can't hear you. Cannot hear you. There's no sound coming from you at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Can you hear him?
I'm not hearing either Dominic or Mary. I can hear Jin and Erden just fine.
Yeah, I can hear Marco and Arthur, but I can't hear.
Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if it still works when we back off with our camera on.
Yeah, you're good. I can still hear you.
The mic was set to the other mic connected to the computer, which happens to be a headset that is currently off.
That's not helpful.
Which is weird because you heard the thing about the tables. And so.
No, I think I heard the thing about the table.
No, you did, but she also. Oh. Maybe she reacted, and I thought she was reacting to what we had said. So I thought you guys could hear us. That's what,
We've damaged 3 tables today.
Yeah, because I said that we're at a count of 3 tables damaged. That was my addition to the wrap up.
Oh, I was gonna say, what have you guys been doing today?
Oh no, not us.
The
party.
Position.
I'm assuming that there's windows on the floor that we're on.
Adea's answer was daytime. I'm pretty sure it's daytime.
Is there any indication from how much light is coming in through the windows, like where the sun is?
Pretty
windows
sure
that
it's for meeting time.
Because we're supposed to meet Dealand at noon.
the windows that are set up in this building they've been spelled. It's not actual sunlight that comes in because if sunlight gets in, it damages the books and the scrolls. They don't want that.
Makes sense.
So they've got fake magic so that
Okay.
they're damaged. So no, you can't tell by looking out a window. Because
Okay.
right now it looks like a hot summer day.
Take magic light. I love it.
I don't know what time it is, but it might be around time that we're supposed to go meet Dealand. Why?
Carlos sent me another message, and apparently things are getting worse over there, and he wants at least me to come back.
Okay, well, Dealand's fiance knows where there's a portal back there, so I'd say let's gather everybody up and we can head that direction.
Yeah, is there any other quick little thing you guys want to do?
I was gonna say, Brina like looks longingly at the books that she's been carrying. It's like, well, I'll put these back since I'm not gonna have time to read them, but I need to stock up on my supplies for my hot chocolate in the cafe downstairs because especially if Emerus is having any more of those visions, I know he'd appreciate it.
Fair enough. How about you, Adea?
Well, I already knew that I wasn't going to get through all the books before noon. I was trying to scribble as many notes as I can. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out, probably.
Yeah.
We can come back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We probably won't ever be able to come back, but we can experiment on the road.
And I've got a decent number of notes down, and I've still got Quetzalcoatl's book.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So
I'm excited to see Cadmus again.
as it's go pick up Rada, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Today I will hastily scribble down a few more notes before returning her books.
I was gonna say, Brina's already started walking back towards the level that she was on because her short little legs don't move as quickly, and so like I'll meet you guys downstairs.
All right, we'll catch up to you.
Then I can go and grab the stuff that I need. Then you know where Rada is, so.
Yeah. Meet up at like the fountain at the bottom.
Yep.
And
Alright.
Ern will help Adea scribble down a couple more things.
All right. Once you've done that and you've started to go look for Rada, are you still blue screening or have you come back to yourself?
Oh, she had come back to herself because the physician
Oh.
brought her back. And she was. Because I didn't mention it in the recap, but he had gotten stuff out that referenced Tong.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right before they left.
Because the physician basically opened it right to where she needed to read.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What was the information you were looking for again?
She was just looking to see if there were any references to Tong in history, which the physician, he sonic screwdriver the books out to the correct places, and we said that they were relatively accurate, so.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming that the time that they've all been gone, or at least Ern's been gone, has been about an hour, so.
Mm-hmm. So sounds like you'll find her right where you left her.
Hey, Rada, how's it going?
Well, decently well. I take it it's we're thinking it's around time.
Partly, yeah. Also, I got a message from Gerlos saying, "Hey, which stuff's going bad, so would you mind coming back?"
Rada will look at one of the books and say, "I wonder if this is one of the originals. I don't think it's an original. I think it might be a translated copy, but I'm not sure. This would be some good reading if it's accurate." It says it's a well, it says on the title a journal. Well, no, it's Fall of the Han Empire from the perspective of a dead woman.
Yeah, that sounds. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Seems dark enough. Thinking of trying to keep that book, or
I would like to keep it if it's not an original.
Boop, boop. Oh. Mhm.
are there other copies like of that on the shelf?
Are there?
Um, does not look like it.
Bugger.
Sorry, I only rolled a 25%, so the odds are not in your favor here.
Yeah, like, no, I don't see anything else that looks like it.
Well, I've been writing down some notes just in case, so. Raw will put the books that the physician got out back. Collect her
No.
notes.
Okay.
We'll go with Ern to wherever we're meeting up.
Right.
He is with you as well. And I'm assuming Tooth, because I'm assuming Tooth is just hanging out in Aaron's bag again.
Yep.
Probably.
I feel like we haven't seen Megan in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Your deal is. She was just listening to something. She went to bed. Yeah, it looks like she went to bed.
Oof.
I understand. I didn't. I went to bed not too much later
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Yes. So Brina will probably be a bit because she's gotta go put things away and then come back downstairs. So you'll be waiting for her a little bit while you're at the fountain. But eventually she will join you. And then I assume you'll all go to pick up the hot chocolate supplies and then head out.
Oh,
Yep.
I was
Yep.
planning on going to do the hot chocolate supplies before meeting them, but
I figured that
That makes
Adea
more
was
sense.
scribbling down her notes with the time that was afforded her from Rena going to get hot chocolate supplies.
Yeah. Okay. That works too.
Like, we can add another 15 minutes or so.
yeah, I was gonna say because I basically headed down to put my books away and go get supplies and meet up with them because I knew it would take me longer.
Gotcha.
So.
I would subtract like a dozen copper pieces.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say that you really stocked up. Because you don't know
Yeah.
the next time you're going to find hot chocolate.
7 copper pieces.
Mhm. We'll say that's for like,
This vanilla, fresh cocoa, and peppers, I think, is all that it. Or wait, there's cinnamon too that goes into it, I think.
oh, cinnamon will be a little more expensive. Probably another like 6 or 7 copper for
Okay.
cinnamon alone. But we'll just say it's like one of those like really big canister, like
Mhm.
that size worth of hot cocoa.
Mhm.
And then you were able to get like a whole like bundle of like cinnamon sticks so you can just like grate it into the chocolate.
About 19 copper pieces.
Yeah. And then you've got a decent number of vanilla sticks as well that you can just pop the seeds out of.
Mhm.
That was it, right? Cocoa, vanilla, and and the chili powder. Yeah, we'll say it's like a regular like seasoning size container of the chili powder so that you don't overdo it and like burn someone's mouth.
Mhm. Yeah, because I had just peppers from El Dorado that I've been using. So,
Yeah. You're like, oh, chili powder, that'll keep longer.
Although peppers dry pretty well.
mhm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have enough hot cocoa for a long, long time.
Mhm. Unless she goes on a bender.
Of any bender that brings on and bread, it would be hot chocolate.
It depends.
Actually, yeah, if there's going to be any bender in this party, it's going to be a hot chocolate one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
It really depends on how how badly everyone get, or how wounded emotionally do we get.
Too much. Too much. If you hang out under there, you know that the moment I decide to stretch, I'm gonna step on you. And you don't care. Okay.
But I'm
All
still
right.
going to be
So
surprised when it happens.
it'll take maybe 20, 25 minutes for you guys to walk to the sandwich shop. Who's leading the way?
Me.
Okay, give me a survival check to make sure you remember how to get to the sandwich shop.
The correct answer to who's leading the way in this case is not Adea.
That's a 7.
Apparently not Eridan would be
Either.
correct as well.
I'm too distracted.
You're walking along, Idea. You're heading towards the smithing sector, and you're like, "What the heck are you doing, dude?" Where are we going? I don't think the sandwich shop is over here.
Adea is probably the reason this happened in the first place, because Eridan was helping her take down notes, so now she's talking to him about it. I don't think we're going the right way.
We're not?
This district is
Oh.
definitely the least pleasant that I have visited in a long time. as much as I still love it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't smell nearly as okay. Yep, we're going the wrong way.
All right, try again.
Oh, that's better. Okay, 14.
Okay, you take a moment, you pause, you look around, and you're like, okay, let's see, we came in from this way, and you kind of veer off and like down an alleyway and into another street that's heading out of the smithy, and it's starting to look a little more familiar. But it does seem to be taking you back towards the zoo. So.
Still in the right direction.
I just keep thinking, man, a familiar would be really nice right now.
Anyone else remember some of the stuff?
Do I remember something that...
Maybe a
So,
help action? I don't know.
Okay, so would this be wisdom or
I don't have
intelligence?
locate object anymore. Interesting.
wisdom. Because we're trying to remember.
21.
You need to head in a more you know you need to go around the zoo. So you think, okay, if I can remember what were the animals you guys saw? I remember, was it monkeys? Yeah.
Monkeys.
You could find the monkeys. You'll know you're going in the right direction.
If we start hearing the monkeys, then we're going in the right direction.
Hopefully we hear the monkeys. I can detect magic, but not monkeys.
Go ahead and give me some perception checks. See if you can hear the monkeys.
19?
22.
16.
17.
You can hear the monkeys. They seem to be coming from the far end of the zoo. So as you
Well, I
keep
guess I can detect the monkeys.
if you keep the direction that Erden has taken you in, you should pass them. So for now, you are going the right direction.
Good.
Can I hear what
Nah.
they're saying? Or are we not close enough yet?
It sounds mostly like they're having idle chit chat about bugs in each other's fur.
The return of the sun is no longer the
The main news the main news item.
No. Already forgotten.
Oh no, it's like hairdresser gossip.
Right.
Like they're going each other. It's like, oh my goodness, have you heard about Linda the lion? My goodness, she's gotten fat recently.
That's because she's pregnant. What's wrong with you, you judgmental little? Yeah. Definitely the hairdresser gossip. So you get around the zoo. I want one more survival check because at this point you gotta remember, because it wasn't in the same direction as your sister's house.
Advantage, Erden.
seem to remember the
Oh,
zoo's in
damage,
between.
okay.
Yeah, help action.
She's like, okay,
Oh,
let's see.
perfect. Another 22.
Okay, excellent. You do manage to find your way to the sandwich shop. The two are in there sitting at one of in fact, the same table that you guys had a meal there last time. And as you're sitting down, Dietla's just like, what took you so long?
I got a
Is it
little
not-
lost.
Conquest of the industrial district.
Ah. I see.
Bria looks up from where she's been organizing her bag because she's been showing all of her materials. Like, oh, I was just organizing my hot chocolate supplies.
Right.
Brina gives
Were you
that. I
waiting
don't know
long?
how your look, but okay.
Like, I know I heard the monkeys. Like, I know we got lost, and I know we heard the monkeys, but yeah.
So I hear you guys need to get back to Albion,
Yes.
Cymru specifically.
Yes.
How soon?
Now would be preferable.
As soon as we can.
Bless you.
I was gonna say,
Thank
now
you.
would be
Right.
preferable. Farmlands got a hold of us that things are going badly.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And have we spoke to Gorlois since you received that message?
No, because he can't send back.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I'm not a wind druid as far as I'm aware, so I can't exactly respond back.
And
It's been very
Well, I
annoying my
would
entire
volunteer,
life.
but I don't have sending anymore.
and at the moment, my divine magic is gone with the wind.
We're so useful.
Oh.
We go from 3 sending users to 0.
He very much helped.
No, it was 2
You
sending
know-
users to 0. Well, actually,
Did
no,
Yeah.
it was
Song
3
have
because
it?
song.
Yeah. In one fell swoop, we have managed to get rid of sending 3 people. Although Rados, I presume, is temporary.
Okay. I hadn't actually decided. Oh, well, okay, cool. So as you're having this conversation, he just kind of goes, yeah, sorry. Fire druid. Can't help.
That's fair.
And we haven't done enough to find out what hers is. But I suspect it's also not air. So, yes. Okay, so I can get you to the portal. It does go to Kimry. It go. Ooh, let me see.
Mentioning it goes to the hilarity if it goes to the equivalent of that weird dark shop that it ends up in when he uses the Flu Network.
Morgan and Burke. I would really like us to not end up in the nocturnality of Kimry, please.
Well, unlike Harry Potter, we're far more adept at handling ourselves in those situations.
Theoretically.
One
Theoretically.
theoretical, I don't want to put her left.
Okay.
Medea's got some more adeptants.
So this portal is gonna spit you out in Palace. Is that okay?
Alice?
Palace.
Alice?
Uh-huh.
I don't know where that is,
Well,
but wouldn't be our first time being lost in almost the right place. We
I
usually
think
figure
that's
it out.
roughly the correct area. Because
I'll do it.
I,
Yes.
as a player, think it was like on the border of Powys and one to the south.
Divot.
Divith, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. That sounds familiar. I know it's not Gwinnett because that's the one that's up north, and that's Guinevere's kingdom. So.
I'm starting to wonder if this dice is weighted or not.
Why?
Because I just rolled a 19 for just a intelligence check. It's like, is that in the correct location?
My question that I had said of how you go about figuring that out when it comes to like what kind of druid, Rena did say that out loud. So I don't know if you just didn't understand that was me in character, or if that is just ignoring her.
I'm sorry. She said what in?
I had said in character. I wonder how you go about figuring that out.
Oh, I just didn't hear you. Just deaf.
Okay.
I'll say while he's doing that, Dylan will answer and say, I have no idea. He hasn't told me how you figure that out yet. Apparently there's some magic test or something. I don't know. Yes. So, okay. Well, as long as you're okay with that, I'm assuming then that you probably want to get going as soon as you can.
I mean, maybe get some lunch first. I don't know. How do you all think?
I like lunch. Lunch is good. I'm apt to forget if we don't get it now.
It would probably be a good idea to get some real food before we start eating military rations again.
Or hunting, or foraging.
You don't like going back to your hunter-gatherer roots?
It's exhausting.
The reason we started farming.
Permanent.
Lax bread.
Takes all day, and if you're not following the herd, it's just luck at that point.
Yeah, so you can grab food. Is there anything you want to do during lunch? Besides just eating, anything you wish to discuss? Or shall we say you ate and move along?
Actually, I would like to pull aside Dietland for a second.
Okay. Easy enough.
So I've been trying to work myself up to ask this, and probably not ready, but that probably doesn't matter.
She's being very patient and just kind of watching, waiting. Not saying anything, as usual.
What happened to Lambda Driston?
I don't know the full details. It's just what I've been told. What we've been told from people he was with. But it seems that he had oh, okay. Okay. He wanted to explore the. Oh my gosh. Go away. Shoo. Sorry, my mind is blanking on the word. Give me just a. There we go. Wanted to explore Yggdrasil. And apparently he ended up in I can't ever remember the names of any of these places. This is killing me.
It's like proper names of people you only like occasionally meet, but they're only friends of your parents, and you only meet them at their church, but not yours. So it's kind of one of those. Who's your name again?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like a very oddly specific analogy. Though that might have happened in your life, Adam.
Want to go meet cousin Heimdall?
Uh, why are you not helping me?
Yes, are you asking the internet to help you?
Yeah. Okay, so what was going through my head was Jutland, which was not right. And I was like, no, but it does start with a J. I was thinking of Jotunheim.
Mm-hmm.
My brain was like, no, Jutland, Jutland. I'm like, no, those are humans. It's a human kingdom. Stop it. Anyway, he ended up in Jotunheim. And we all know that's not a pleasant place.
No, it's not.
So I don't know why he went there of all places, if that was even his intention. But he went with like 6 other people and only 2 came back.
God.
And one of them it seems to have lost his sanity. Like whatever happened there, he cannot tell anyone. He's become mute, except for when he totally snaps and just starts muttering gibberish. One who did talk told us they were attacked. They were lucky to have escaped. Mentioned they went to a few other places before that, but he wouldn't give any details. He would not talk about it, other than to say the others didn't make it.
Do you remember what his name was?
Person in your names.
It's not me this time.
That's what makes it hilarious.
Bravo, Marco. Go.
Oh, fuck. Let me go look for. Ah.
How to truly
Yes.
torture your DM. Make them go over the name.
Hey, did you see that meme I posted yesterday?
Yes.
That led to Dominic and I having a fun conversation of imagining Brina in a like an army battalion with a commander, and Brina asking for everybody's name. Brina's last
Oh
words.
my.
That would be what it was. What it would be. Brina's last words. What is everybody's name? But at the same time, I pointed out the fact that Brina wouldn't ask for the entire battalion's name. The commander and the people directly around her, yes. But it wouldn't be the whole battalion unless she actually interacted with them.
Yeah, you would only do that if you were like the whole leader of it all, and it probably would only like limit to a platoon because, my goodness, that's a lot of names.
Mhm.
Okay. His name is Rasmus Olafsson. And I just want to point out that because he is technically, because it is Saxon right now, that means it's Danish. That means the last name will be En, not On. Yep. And I'm totally not biased because I am very Danish.
We actually had an exchange student whose name was Rasmus
Nice.
when I was in high school.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
I believe he was from Denmark, actually.
Erden, give me a wisdom check.
Okay.
Let's just see if the name rings any bells for you.
So that's just a 10.
I mean, there were a lot of Rasmus where you grew up. However, because of the way that naming works in Scandinavian society, you do remember that one of the other families who lived on the same street as you, one of those upper class folk, his name was Olaf. So you're like, probably his son. So, do I remember this dude? I mean, we're all blonde and blonde.
Kind of like if the name is written on like the mailbox, and it's just like, oh, I walked past that several days, so it's one of those. Oh, I remember that.
It's kind of up there with like, hey, do you know anybody named Richard in England? And it's like, yeah, I know like do you have a
Oh, yes.
specific one?
Do you want to also talk to Jane Doe and John Smith?
Exactly like Paul Rodden.
I'm now wondering if I've ever actually met anybody with the last name Doe. I'm not sure I have.
I haven't. I can say that I've met lots of people with the last name Smith. In fact, my cousin is married to Joseph Smith. So
There was once a time where my name would have been in this list. Do you know Mary? Yes. Which one?
yeah. I mean, I get that. There's two Jennifers who work at the music school, and the other one's kind of snobby and a little prideful. And so the director doesn't like her as much, so she calls me her Jennifer. So she's like, my Jennifer. Okay. I guess I'm owned. And then she calls the other one Big Head Jennifer. It's really funny. She even like intentionally she wanted to do a Christmas photograph for with all the teachers, and she intentionally did it on a day that Jennifer was there. So she didn't have to be in the picture.
Whoa.
That
Skydive on my wall.
Kind of aggressive.
that's kind of petty.
A little bit.
Hmm.
A little. She's like this, but the director's like the sweetest person you'll ever meet. So it's like when she says and does things like that, I'm just like, where's this coming from?
So it's basically like when Jane Bennett goes off on Caroline Bingley towards the end of Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, you're just like, We got some
Where did
fire.
Where did the sweet lady go?
I'm confused. Anyway, okay.
Rasmus is likely the son of Olaf who lived down the lane.
Yep. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Olaf is now going to be the Muffin Man. It's just, it's canon now.
Well, she was married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
And Marco just shakes his head in shame.
These are the people I talk to every week. What does that say about me?
Like,
Hey, you're just as weird.
You have good friends.
Fair enough.
you have interesting friends.
I mean, I sent the most ridiculous pun to Eric earlier. Because it was just like, I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, did this come right out of his mouth? It was, my house is haunted by a chicken, a poultrygeist, a foul spirit. I plan to call an exorcist if it crossed to the other side.
Yep, sounds like Eric.
Heal. Anyway, okay. Serious.
Serious time.
Okay.
Something about a
Oh.
portal.
Thank you for telling me.
That's right.
Yeah. Do me a favor, will you? She's actually gonna hand you a pearl. Stay in touch. Don't just vanish again.
Okay.
I've got another one. These pearls, you just talk into it, and we can just have a conversation.
Oh, wow. That's actually really cool.
I'm surprised you don't have any. This is like a druid trick.
I don't know, it's like they let me into their house, but they didn't allow me to touch the furniture.
Don't touch anything. Yeah. It's like you're allowed in the living room, but you can't go into any of the other rooms.
You're allowed to surface
Oh,
all
well.
this stuff.
Then again, the only person I would probably regularly use this with also wasn't a druid, so...
Yeah. Do I know how to activate this? No. Can I activate this? No. But yeah, basically just the way it's just gonna be like a +1 pearl of communication, we'll call it. And basically, to use it, it's not just talking. You do have to basically it's gonna work like a level 1 spell. So you do have to expend a spell slot to basically activate it. But you can use it basically in that whole 24-hour period once you've activated it.
Just with a specific person, or
Yes.
Oh, so it's like a one-time payment of 24 hours unlimited talk and text.
Yes.
Cool.
Exactly.
And so when he uses that, will it only work with Deatlins then?
No. He
Okay.
can use it to communicate with others who have a pearl. So if you can find a way to make more pearls of communication or talk a druid into making more of them and handing them out.
do we know
Erden.
anyone who already has one that might want to hear from us?
We know druids. We know Cadmus.
Erden's
Maybe a
almost
certain
immortal.
Berlois?
Erden, I need one wisdom check from you.
One more wisdom. It's a 13.
You have like the vaguest, just like this. Feel like you've seen someone you know use a pearl like this. You thought they were being weird, like maybe they were kissing it or something, but maybe that's not what was happening at all. Maybe they were actually talking to somebody, and now you're like, who was it? You have a very strong feeling that it was either Emrys or Igraine, because Gorlois doesn't need them. So you have a feeling Emrys probably doesn't either, but you wouldn't be surprised if he used them because he doesn't like showing off if he can help it, because he doesn't like being different from everybody else.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing. Igraine has been at the wedding. Igraine had been away from everybody, but she also couldn't contact anybody, which implies that she doesn't have a pearl to begin with.
Or she just didn't bring it with her.
Could be that. Or it could be that you can't communicate with other people who don't have a pearl, so there's no point in bringing it out.
Thank you. I'll definitely make sure to use this. That's really cool.
Yeah. And I don't know. Hopefully don't die, okay? I know you're heading to a war. Please don't die. I can't handle another one of you.
That's the last thing that will end up happening.
Have you seen who he's with? Just saying, I try to take pretty good care of him.
These are some pretty. I mean, I'm surrounded by very responsible women. Also, I haven't been able to die yet. So, yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Die. It's kind of final. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I'll make sure to do it as long as you promise to tell me when the celebration is happening.
Fine. You know, I'm okay with that actually, because Father won't give me away because he's not going to be happy that it's a druid. So, if you don't mind doing that, I'll definitely make sure you know when it is.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's 2 NPC weddings we have to go to now.
Yep.
You know, I just realized that
Rita's totally been like trying to surreptitiously ask Devin about like how he and Deetland met, like how they ended up falling in love, like getting their story. And like she's probably just about ready to start asking, like, when are you guys getting married?
After school.
Huh?
I graduate first.
so
I can't handle the wedding and studying for exams.
yeah, I just realized that we've gone to a wedding, but it was for the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So many weddings.
D&D the musical 2, Wars and Weddings.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first word in that?
D&D the
Wars.
musical too.
Wars
Wars
and Weddings.
Wars and weddings.
It sounded like you said whores and weddings.
That's what I was thinking too.
I didn't hear that at all. I heard wars and I was like, yes, absolutely.
No.
Right, because Dominic would say that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, That's why I asked, because it did sound like something he would say.
It's like I'm trying to make a connection here and I can't. Okay.
Yep, that's what the season is called, Wars and Weddings. It needs to end on both of them.
You know how there, what is it, was it 3 weddings and a funeral or 3 funerals and a wedding?
3 weddings and a funeral.
3 weddings and a funeral, yeah. So we just got 3 weddings and a war.
Oh no, we already had our funeral.
We've done our funeral already.
We've already done our funeral.
That's true. It's true. Okay.
We can get another wedding. We just don't know who the people are. Well, the NPCs are currently away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after lunch, Deetlin's not going to go with you to the portal because she's got things she's got to do, which is why she was saying goodbye and like, don't die or whatever. Tina's going to give you a very big hug, and it's probably going to feel like for a moment that she's not going to let go. That you're like, am I going to have to pry her off? But she does eventually.
Ern responds equally.
Yeah. So the rest of you are just like, all right, guys, I know you haven't seen each other in a while. We gotta go. There's like urgency. No.
Hurrying along because I'm sitting here like, I get this. I know exactly what this is like.
Don't have
Yeah.
dramaturgy anymore to end this in an amusing manner.
I think the only person, at least that's active currently, that wouldn't get this would be Idea. But that's just like a maybe, because Rada would get it, if only because like I didn't get this opportunity with my siblings.
Depends on how close Idea was to any of the other Amazonian women would she consider them like true sisters?
There's definitely probably a few that she would get this with, I would think.
Yeah, I can't imagine she was so in on herself that otherwise she wouldn't be getting along with any of you. She had some interaction with someone. I don't have that part of her backstory though, so I can't, manipulate her either.
It was half a handful of people, but they were very important people.
All I can do is potentially just destroy the island. Goodbye, Mom.
We've established that there's at least a couple of them that were her mentors and responsible for taking care of her that she referred to as her mothers. Even though they're also her sisters. But they're not her biological mother. That's not how the Amazons work.
But they're mothers in the way that an older sister is a mom, basically.
In some families.
In some families.
Oh my gosh. What
Lilo
was
and Nani. Well, no, it was Lilo and Nani.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lilo and Nani from Lilo and Stitch. That's a really good example.
That was just a good movie. I need to watch it again.
You seen it?
Apparently they were making a remake.
Oh,
What?
It's getting a live
What did I
action
do?
remake treatment.
Oh yeah. And Marco wants to burn down the world. And I get it.
internet?
I'm okay. I'm okay now.
My internet slowed down because I went to go
Like
look
I
for
sent you a
something.
punching bag.
No, it wouldn't be satisfying enough. I need like a house. And I will remove all the nails from the low-bearing walls if I must.
Gotcha. I haven't watched Lilo and Stitch in a while. I need to watch that one.
This just reminded me that I randomly saw the trailer for part of the trailer for live action Snow White that Fletcher was telling us about, and I was like, huh, I didn't realize they did this. And then I saw the dwarfs, I was like, oh no, wait, Fletcher told me about this. I was like, how do I make this go away?
Yeah, I saw that, but I never really liked that movie. But if I'm remembering Lilo and Stitch correctly, it doesn't deserve this treatment.
And there's a bit of Uncanny Valley with the live action Stitch.
Yeah, why is it that every single time they try and make a CGI character of a 2D animated character, it always looks wrong? Even though it had to go through multiple people to get to that point.
Because they shouldn't be doing this process in the first place.
And that, yeah.
And so it's karma.
We can't even hope that it's one of the good live actions because all the good live actions were early and we're way, way beyond that point.
Yeah.
What?
Lilo and Stitch is getting a live action remake.
But yeah, I know.
A couple of the early live actions were decent, at least.
I really liked the Cinderella. I liked Aladdin too.
I thought Beauty and the Beast was pretty good.
I like that one as well.
Yeah. The ones that are just mostly computer animation but are live action are stupid.
I basically the description of the Lion King one that I heard from the old girl that I worked with was basically like it's a really bad National Geographic documentary with voices for the animals. Like felt like she was watching a documentary.
Yep. And I'm sorry, never asked Beyonce to do a voice because they had her do knowledge. When she sang, she overpowered everyone.
Because it's Beyonce. Beyonce was the voice of Nala?
Yeah.
Why?
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to shell out a pretty penny to get her even on that project.
Yeah,
that's how much they expected to return on.
Yeah, and they're working on the theory that people like celebrities.
Yeah, but they also don't like their childhood being ruined.
Nostalgia.
Back to the
I found out they're planning to do the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Really?
I'm like, first off, we've got live actions of that. They're dark and gory and horrific because it's a dark, gory, horrific story to begin with.
Thank you, Victor Hugo.
Disney. It was a beautiful animation. Just leave it.
Also,
let it go.
In the first place, aka not terribly successful box office wise.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there's certain parts of that movie that I don't know how effectively that's going to come across in live action without being too suggestive.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole Hellfire song. Yeah. Like, as a kid, I was like, fun song. As an adult, I'm going, oh, Frollo, you're a man whore. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Go confess your now. You awful, horrible man.
Yeah.
Just
what's
imagine
sad
if
is
he was
that
a priest, like in the original.
I mean,
So, Portal.
well,
Dylan's not coming.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
As Dylan and Airden were talking, and Brina was asking Devith questions, was he actually telling me their story, or was he kind of cagey about it?
Kind of cagey about it.
kind of cagey about it.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see like he keeps looking over at her, and then like if he mentions anything about like just life as a druid or whatever, like you can tell that there's probably things he's not allowed to talk about or not supposed to at any rate. I mean, we're already aware from Erden that he probably shouldn't be teaching her, but he is anyway.
Hey, we're
Well,
Fae,
I'm not
mum's
really.
the word.
Well, I'm not asking about any of the druidic stuff because I'm focused on them and like love story kind of thing. That's what Brina's going after. But at the same time, like she's trying to also be respectful. Like I'm assuming that I would notice he's being cagey.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason is that like you're gonna he has to talk a little bit about the druid stuff because that's part of their story.
Okay.
But he's less than willing to really go into any sort of detail. So it's more like boy goes to school, boy meets girl at school.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Gotcha.
fall for each other while they're there. Finds out that now this was not something. This was something they learned together. Something he wasn't aware of until then, but they found out together. Because as far as he was aware, you had to be a pure human to do it. But apparently she has enough human in her that she can make it work.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, I know my passive perception is like an 11, but would Brina understand that he's being cagey and like still be polite about it, or would I be blithely asking questions?
Insight.
Yeah, that's more of a passive insight thing.
Yes, passive insight.
Okay.
The good old passive insight.
So your insight will be
Oh, 10 plus my modifier for insight?
For passive.
yeah.
If it's 10 plus my modifier for insight, that's my passive. That's 11.
Yeah, because it's your that's enough to know that like you're seeing like it's not that he's trying to hide anything, it's that there's things that so he like stumbles over his words. He's like stares and he stops and then he like glances at Erden and Dietland, things like that. So you can tell he's struggling to find a way to tell you these things without giving away things that he shouldn't.
Gotcha.
Or just doesn't want to. It's hard to tell one way or the other.
Like as soon as Brina notices that, she'll be like, don't worry about it. I like people's stories, so I was curious. Especially since I'm happy for you guys, but don't worry about trying to explain things to me. Sorry for if I'm prying too much.
But yes, you afterwards you guys are saying goodbye, Erden and Dietland the longest. Then Devith is like, okay, you guys ready? We got a bit of a walk unless you're cool with teleportation. You can do short distance teleporting.
Teleportation.
What?
That's cool.
Sort of. I can. I can kind of use plants to transport us.
Plants to transport us?
Yeah.
Are we swinging on vines or something?
No, it'll be like a portal, but just a little one. I can't make like a big trans-dimensional one, but I can get us to the trans-dimensional portal.
This guy's decently leveled.
Yeah. There's a reason why he can teach her.
I don't see a problem.
Right. So
Did everybody get everything out of Teelan's?
yes. Does everyone have their stuff?
I didn't
Pretty
leave
good.
anything except for some bread.
We'll have more toast then. I don't think I left anything behind. Idea, you?
I keep my stuff close to hand.
Rana, do you miss anything?
We knew that there was the possibilities that we were leaving, so if anyone did forget to bring anything with them, that's their fault.
Airden is
We're
too
not
stubborn.
turning this car around.
All right, cool. So he'll walk up to the nearest tree, mutter a few words in Druidic, and the tree will kind of, like, the trunk just opens up, and you can see through the trunk, and it looks like it opens up into a forest, but a weird, like, palm tree forest.
Brianna's just like leaning from Rana's back, just kind of leaning over. It's like, wow.
Yeah? Something wrong with it?
Adea
No.
confidently walks through it.
Excellent. Idea, as you walk through it, it tingles a little bit because you're going through a magic portal. But you come out on the other side, and it's an oasis in the desert. It's a fairly decent-sized oasis, too. Oh, already. It's hot, sunny, all of that. Sorry, let me check this. Oh, sweet. Okay, not till 7 this time. Excellent. They've got me doing sister lead on the endowment sessions, and last week they had me doing the very first one, and it was the very first time I'd ever done it, and I was like, but I'm not on the very first one this time, so. Which is super handy because they also asked me to conduct the music all this month. They're just like, Sister Kozar, can you do everything? Sure. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, y'all have to go through before I do though, because if I go through, it's gonna close the video. So.
Rana goes through.
Makes sense.
Seems pretty nice on this side.
Can we hear her?
Yes.
Nice oasis.
Yep. You all go
Palm
through.
tree.
It's a pretty tight oasis. There's palm trees everywhere.
Makes good shade.
Hot. The wind's blowing a little bit, so there's sand kind of just getting everywhere, as it does in deserts. It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Exactly.
I knew someone was gonna succumb, but I was wondering who it was.
Okay. Spring recital is Star Wars themed, so I've got Star Wars on the brain. I've been
trying to
singing.
remember the exact quote.
And now I understand why I didn't recognize it at first, because I'm not as much of a Star Wars person. Or I'm not as well versed in Star Wars. Put it that way.
Before going through the portal, or at least some points between the library and this transport via plants, Rada will try to pick up like a rock or something. That way, if we do have to mail something via the magical mail system, we have a place.
Okay. Excellent. Perfect.
And Rod is leaning down to, because I'm assuming that I'm probably on Rada's back like normal. As Rod is leaning down to do that, I'm like, hey, can you grab another one for me?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Excellent. So Divith is going to lead you around the oasis. You're feeling the wind on your face. Off of the ocean, or in rainy islands like Albion, where it's kind of refreshing. No, this is a hot wind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, oh, this is not refreshing at all. This is
Very much like Texas humidity, like that heat wind.
No, there's no humidity in this air. This is
Okay, it's all dry desert wind.
yes.
This is
Yes.
Arizona wind.
Yes. This is where I grew up. It's hot and there's no relief. The palm trees offer some shade, but it's still like, so it's like 100 degrees out in the sun and it's like 80 degrees in the shade.
So we're walking through misery, is what you're telling me.
Misery
it's
has
great.
humidity.
Yes. Misery does have humidity.
Yeah, that just sounds like.
Misery.
Yeah, that just sounds like living here.
Yeah, it is the Southwest. Just it's the Sahara.
I don't know, just be feeling that and just realize, it's been a while since we felt this, hasn't it?
You're right.
Well, see, three of us
You get so
have felt something
high
like
your
this.
microphone didn't pick you up, so I don't know what you said.
Brina, like as Erin's words sink into her brain, she's like, "You're right. Last time I was in a desert, I was riding Zori, camel."
Well, that's if what happened in the dream actually happened. I have been in something like this before. Outside
Other
of
than
that dream.
Other than the dream, I haven't. So I'm gonna count it for right now.
The palm trees are nice and all, but I don't feel like putting up with this heat. And Adea will cast protection from elements for fire. Protection from energy.
Yeah. The nice thing is this time you don't have George, so hopefully you won't get dragged into any lakes by kelpies.
Hey,
I was not in that group. I was in the other group where we told campfire stories and we had silly foxes and we had a camel named Zori who spit its sores because he called him Candy.
Okay, sorry.
And Rada was in that group too, but Airden was in the one with George where kelpies and sandworms all happened.
Well, we had a sandworm incident too, but we managed to get away from that.
Yes.
So you come around to one side of the oasis, and it does kind of flatten out, and there's a boat. And he goes,
Oh, no.
okay. Yep, there's.
Oh no. There's a boat.
Expecting anyone bringing wood with us?
I feel like as he's coming around and he's walking up to this boat, you guys all stop and you're just like looking at each other.
Erden immediately starts praying to Rhiannon and the Lady of the Lake, just like, please bless us on this safe voyage.
He just stops and he's looking back at you. Is everything okay?
We have terrible luck with boats.
One time we sunk a boat. We went to Atlantis. One time we almost sunk a boat. It's still getting repaired. I'm pretty sure we almost sunk a boat another time. Anyways, do we have wood on us, or should I start picking up sticks?
You shouldn't have any issues with this boat, because this boat, in theory, is tethered to the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, okay.
That's
She
good news. She
generally
seems to like us.
let
think.
people
I think
drown.
that is a correct assessment, right?
You like us, Airden? I can't remember. I think so.
It's the white lady.
I didn't
that doesn't
catch
like
half
us.
of what anyone was saying for the past 2 minutes.
So Jen, go ahead. Jen, go ahead and explain what Divith said again.
He said the boat is tethered to the Lady of the Lake, so you should be okay because she doesn't typically let people drown. And then everybody went, I think she likes us, right, Erden?
Yeah, it's the white lady that doesn't like us.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, we're good.
We did cross the channel once. We didn't have any issues when that happened.
I don't. I still don't know. You weren't there, wasn't that? That was Amon.
Was that before Idea?
That was before
Yep.
he did.
It was.
Before Idea, never mind.
I don't know where that came from. I wasn't there, but somebody was. And they just really wanted to know it was safe. I'm speaking in tongues now. Oh man. But yeah, anyway, basically you just hop in the boat, push it off from shore, and it should just take you right through. It'll take you guys to one of her sacred lakes in Palace.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Good to know.
Not so hot anymore.
Well,
Shake Divith before we leave.
he'll
Thank
shake
you.
your hand. He will intentionally go to shake yours. Because apparently you're going to be brothers, so he wants to.
Yeah, it's like Ern does the handshake and like purposely like pulls him into like a half hug and just whispers in his ear, "You are absolutely going to tell me everything before the celebration is completed," and then lets him go away.
He's just standing there like, oh no. Okay, sure. I will say he has a very firm handshake, so when you were shaking, it's not like he's got noodle or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fine.
Like no, Ern saw like had the like the teleporting spell. And it's like, okay, yeah, he's reasonably competent. He should know a few things.
Yeah, and he's like this tall, skinny guy, but when you were like shaking his hand, like it actually took some effort to pull him in. Like this guy's actually pretty strong. Like he's not any means as pathetic as he kind of looks. And you suspect that under all the clothing that he covers himself with, he's probably fairly well built. And you're like, I'm starting to see the appeal here. Like, I get why she It's not just, I'm using him for his magic or something.
Yeah, I'm picking him for his brains, so now he can handle himself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will say, you also, because you would know which druids would have been capable of opening a portal like that. He's got some power. Like, he's very capable. This is not a I'm a beginner druid. This is a I've been doing it for a while. Like, okay. So if anything happens, he should be able to protect her.
Yeah.
So that's good. All right, we hopping in the boat.
The boat.
The boat looks small. It looks like one of those little rowboats. And so
Are there enough
I can
seats for everyone?
concern. But as you guys climb in the boat, for some reason
It fits everybody.
it fits everyone comfortably. You're not like squeezed in there. These dang gods and their weird godly magic that make things bigger on the inside.
Like, I imagine we all probably like instinctively did like, all right, rod on one end, everyone else on the other.
And then
Imagine
you
it was
guys
us
get
We
your
won't
probably
have to all
Rada on
decide about it.
first.
you run on first, and at first you're like, I don't know. And then as you guys are all climbing on, you're like, okay, well, this is fine. It doesn't even take any effort to push it off. You push it off, and then the boat just kind of moves on its own. And at first, all you're seeing is the desert, and you're like, okay, cool. And then this fog rolls in, and it starts cooling things down. It feels great. You start getting like little dewdrops on you because it's a cloud. You're gonna get wet. Um, Rada, as you're passing through this fog, you'll start catching just like the faintest sparkles, shiny something through the fog. Because you've got a ridiculously high passive. And if Tooth weren't hiding in Erden's bag, he'd see it too. He's currently like, I don't like the sun. I'm from a cold, rainy island.
Probably pasty.
He's a redhead with pale skin.
It's like, I don't want to burn. I'm staying hidden. I had a friend from Seattle who got all upset because she got a tan while at school in Montana, and she thought she was going to look like a freak when she went home for Thanksgiving. And when I say a tan, like what I have here, this was her tan. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear
Some
you.
people.
Oh. Yeah. It was so funny. We were giving her such a hard time because the rest of us are from like either deserts or coastal areas. And we were like coastal areas that are not in the Midwest that are covered in storm clouds all the time. So
A location that isn't constantly wet.
yeah. The rest of you will start to catch glimpses of actual deciduous trees. But they're not green. They seem to have gold leaves. And like when I say gold, I'm not talking like the fall yellows and things like that. No, I'm talking like straight up gold. They are shiny.
Like metal.
Yes. Solid gold.
Wow, it's been a
Well,
while since we
Rada
saw
is,
these as well.
I was gonna say, Rada, you're actually seeing the apples that grow on the tree.
It's been a while since
And
we saw these trees.
but you're not there for very long, and the fog thickens up again, and the trees go hidden. And Dominic, high or low?
Oh.
And as you're coming through the fog, you start realizing that it's not just damp, it is raining. And it is cold. It is a cold rain coming down on you. And you emerge out of this fog into a forest that looks very much like Albion. In a pond. It's very thickly wooded here. And it's raining. And the clouds are thick enough that the sun's having a hard time getting any sort of light through. So it's like twilight. But judging from where the light is coming from, it's gotta be, just afternoon. Like, not that long after you guys had, same time as it is in the other world, which is weird to start with.
When did we get any lightning?
Brina like shrugs her cloak a little bit closer on her. It's like, okay, and we're back to the cold rain. Okay.
As Udea says that, there's a clap of thunder.
There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
As the boat comes into the shore, you hear a sort of squelch. It's been raining for a while. It is very muddy. So, as you're hopping out of this boat, you will be walking at half speed because this is thick and sticky mud. It's like caliche. It starts sticking to the bottom of your shoes. You have to like pick it off so that you're not growing like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay, more boot wearing weather.
Everyone, switch to your rain gear.
Tooth just like pokes his head out and he goes, this is better. I'm not coming out, but this is better. Why are you running around like a crazy person?
Even though we haven't stopped yet, I am already missing Tiny Hut.
So do we
Okay.
know where we're going from here?
Yeah, we got to figure out where we are exactly.
Hmm. Survival check.
Survival check.
Well, Elbianer, where are we?
I mean, I could just pick a direction, but we've seen how that works before. But
Yeah.
I have no opposition to doing it again.
Well, we know this. Regardless of whatever direction we pick, we'll eventually come across the ocean.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Airden's kind of looking around trying to find something. Rena's gonna look up at the trees and try and see if she can find any birds possible.
Give me a perception check. I was gonna say listen, but that's under perception.
Yeah. That's a 12.
You can hear them like tittering miserably, but you can't see it.
Okay.
They've hunkered down, yeah. Which makes sense because birds typically don't want to be out in the rain because if their feathers get wet, they can't fly. So you hear lots of, I want to go out in the nest. No, it's raining. You have to stay here. But no.
Gotcha.
Got a total of 21 for a survival check, so.
Okay, so as you're looking around, you're pretty sure the sunlight's not going to help you much right now because it's covered. But you're looking for other signs of direction. And moss is perfect for that. So you know that you kind of came out from a southerly direction heading north. So if you head east, more than likely you're going to end up hitting the ocean at some point. Or west, you're going to hit the ocean at some point. If you head east, it'll head back towards Elmet. If you head north, hopefully you'll hit the border with Deveth. Or not Deveth. If you head north, you'd hit the border with Gwyneth. Sorry, Powys is in the middle.
Okay.
And if you head south, you would eventually hit the border with Deveth. How far you are from any of these points, you cannot tell.
Where do we want to go? Another relevant question.
Oh, we're trying to find the camp.
Well, we're probably not going to be lucky enough to suddenly run into a scout.
Yeah.
Just showing up out of the trees, maybe dropping from the treetops. I don't know. So what we should probably do is go that way. Because at minimum, we'll still at least be in the region. But also, we'll also hit the ocean. So yeah,
Okay.
since we probably don't want to go back to... Yeah, no. Probably west is going to be our best bet. Yeah, because it's basically like Saxons to the north and debatably anything else to the south. So yeah.
That town that we came across where we met Will, that was close enough to the island, to the coast, and it was a few days from there to the camp.
Rada, with your passive perception as high as it is, you catch something out of the corner of your eye that looks like a very bright light for just a moment. But when you turn to look in that direction, all you see is dark forest.
And do you know if there's any folklore about bright lights that suddenly appear and disappear?
Would you like me to roll for that, DM, or?
Yeah, I would. It'll have to be a knowledge religion. That's
I
typically
don't
what
have
lore.
that.
You don't have a religion check?
Oh. Why would I have my paladin know about religion? Performance was right there. It's actually pretty good anyways. Dirty 20.
There are various reasons why. Maybe not necessarily lore. I mean, if there are plenty of deities associated with like lights. I mean, bonfires are made for uh, various festivals for different gods. You don't think this is the time of year that there'd be a bonfire happening, but you're also
I don't
not
even know
sure
what
when.
time of year it is, so.
Yeah. So I mean, it could have been a bonfire that just got doused by the rain or something. It could have been light catching armor or um a shield or something. Less likely with the shield because most people in this area have wooden shields, unless there's a Roman out here, in which case you may not want to follow the light.
Unless you feel stabby.
But as for like bright lights that vanish that may have to do with war, um, the there the Dagda is associated with light, obviously. Sometimes Lu is. Hestia is, and she is one of the goddesses that does cross over into Celtic mythology, so she's hanging tight for a while. And sometimes Cernunnos, depending on how you die. Depends on how you may see him. You don't think Rod is dying though, so it's probably not. But if
Unless
you want
this is
to make sure you're dying, you can.
unless this is the DA, unless this is you basically doing a settle. Hey, I might just have rocks fall everyone die in the next few moments. I don't know. Feeling in.
I mean, Wales is not the rockiest place in the world unless you're right on the coast.
Yeah, you're the DM.
Gosh, it's like Pocahontas, where it's like, this is Virginia, and I'm like, with those cliffs? Are you sure? I don't think that's Virginia. Think you're mixing up the West Coast with the East Coast.
Probably.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, there's not a lot of like bright light stuff that I can think of. I mean, unless someone just doused their torch, or I guess if somebody's trying to lead us on. I know a couple gods and goddesses do that, but If they were, then how long? Wait, how long did it last?
Given the current conditions, I bet you I could make a bright light appear and disappear real fast.
I mean, I could do that with my sword.
Rada's distracted, which is what I intended. How long was it for?
I'm sorry.
Rada?
Wait, what was it? What did you say, Eden?
How long did that light last?
Very brief.
Just like an instant? Okay.
I only caught it
So
out
it's
the side corner of my eye.
Okay. So it's probably not something leading on, so maybe lightning? Otherwise, I got no idea.
Like,
Do you want to go look at it, or?
You see that she is really thinking.
not an area for will-o'-the-wisps.
You see, that was my concern as a player, that this was a will-o'-wisp.
Right.
First thought, honestly.
You're not in the right part of the country for the wisp. Come on.
They can travel around if they want. I believe in them.
Traveling will-o'-the-wisp. The adventures of the traveling will-o'-the-wisp.
Actually, I'm gonna have Erin just casually look around with a divine sense.
Huh? You're
I'm
gonna.
gonna have
Okay.
take just look around in a full 360 with a divine sense.
So. Lots of things pop up on you. Typical. Rada lights up like a freaking beacon.
Usual.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like Ide and Brina are just like waiting to see what's happening. Rada's staring off. Erden's staring at her. Like just all these weird.
Like Ern
Today
kind of
is-
looks like in the direction Adea was, or Ra was kind of like indicated earlier, just like, all right, now I'm gonna spin around. Nothing. Oh, that's distracting.
It's distracting.
Like,
Like,
at Rada when you're doing that.
you just stop like. Thought you
Today
didn't
is trying
have
to
any.
figure out something she can fidget with now that she doesn't have thaumaturgy to change the color of her eyes constantly and incessantly.
I'm trying to lend my little
Ide-
eyes to see around.
Idea's gonna invent the first fidget spinner, isn't she?
It is possible.
I can see her
I'm looking
making all.
around trying to see if I can spot what Rada saw.
I can see her inventing those fidget rings where like you can spin the rings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a ball bearing.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to pull one from his bag so that we can reverse engineer it.
Eden, I take it to you using paladin senses and something in my direction.
No, it's just you. Like Ern will like start turn around again, just like it's see, it's just like see the rest of like the 90 degrees he hasn't seen.
Yep.
Okay.
Just forest.
I'm hearing a voice and it knows that I'm a cleric, so it's telling me to go east.
I'm
Oh, well, that
hearing
explains it.
So not the way we were going to go, the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like full 60, full 180 spin, and it's just like that's where she had seen the light. Was due east.
Okay, but I'll go first, but in case anything happens, be behind me. I don't know how far this is going to drag me.
Okay.
I would say
Adea has taken a coin out and started flipping it repeatedly. He started half casting a few spells and then was like, no, that's probably a bad idea.
It's just I'm hearing a voice. Let's follow it. Okay. You guys are the least suspicious bunch I've ever met.
It's like Erden knows it's a divine presence, and he's also been told by Rada to stop interfering when she's when she's dealing with divine presences. So he's like, okay, whatever you want to do.
I would say I'm
Divine.
kind of
It doesn't feel, malignant or anything. It's not.
Rada and divine presences together right now is a good thing. Except maybe if it's Neptune.
She'll take a few steps east before I turn back to the group. I do mean if this is a trap or something.
Oh no, I'm fully prepared to deal with if they're leading you on or something.
am I still okay?
Sounds like an adventure, and I'm down for adventure.
I'm assuming Brina's riding on Rada's back because I would probably sink in up to my knees in this mud. So
Just your knees?
Just your knees.
I'm 3'6". I'm a little tall for a gnome. So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay. You need me to get down then? Or should I just have my weapon out to protect us?
I'll leave that decision up to you.
Okay.
Alright. The voice said it's not a trap, so
Do you trust
In
the
any other situation.
Well, I think one way or another we should get going. Otherwise, I'm going to start finding out if I can juggle torches. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and Yeah, I think my boots have been slowly sinking into this mud.
Ra's going to go as the voice instructs.
All right. You start heading due east.
Having picked a direction, Adea will cast Water Walk because it apparently works on mud.
That's awesome.
Rada, what level are you again?
9?
level 8, 9? I'm at level 8, but some of us are flying.
Wonderful. Okay. Anyway, keep going. You're good. Okay.
Is it
Let's bring it.
It's some off-camera stuff.
I was gonna say, I am a little bit more concerned because it's like we're listening to a voice we don't know what it is. But I do trust Rada. But like Rita's gonna have her Tayaha out and just kind of like, I'm gonna be a little bit more on alert now. But I'm also gonna listen to
And
like
slowly freezes.
what?
Your hand slowly freezes because the rain starts pulling all the heat away.
Yeah. Um I'll try and like as it's happening, like she's trying to like wrap her cloak around her hand with her tayaha. So she looks like really awkward, but she has her tayaha like and she's wrapped up in this cloak. It's like um Jen, is there anything different with what the are the birds still like talking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the birds are still talking and
Mhm.
nothing changed what they're saying.
Nope.
Okay.
You need to go get food, but it's wet out there. Honey, go get the food. The babies are hungry.
And again, the bays are all screaming, "Food! Food!"
Crying.
I'm gonna die. I'm so hungry.
Meet my brother. He will do no such thing.
The weakest will be sacrificed.
Gotta be careful. The right kind of bird, they can't eat their siblings. Baby eagle gets hungry. Sorry, runt.
I'm imagining these as like little songbirds.
Yeah, these are just little songbirds. Just sparrows, starlings.
Yeah.
So Rada takes a few steps before like she pauses and I guess everyone's to her back so they can't necessarily see her face, but says, "Is the ways that I know how normally, or is this some way new for me?"
What?
You just get back normal.
Should I keep going east?
Yes.
May I make an insight check?
Uh-huh.
In 22 miles, turn left. As you reach the end of the woods, appreciate the emptiness.
Hey, anyone want to give me a bardic inspiration?
Absolutely.
I don't have bardic yet.
So
You inspiring better.
like once we like I'm pretty sure once we stop and it seems like I'm assuming like I can't see Rada's face, but because we stopped and I'm like, okay, she's trying to make a decision, and I'll just kind of like tap her on the shoulder. It's like, hey, I got you. You figured it out. The birds don't seem to be upset, so that normally means that a predator's not around. But maybe it doesn't work with divine thingies or gods and goddesses. But that at least is a little bit helpful for me. So maybe that'll help you.
what's your bardic inspiration die?
Hopefully,
I think it's
hopefully good enough for you. Inspiration. A D8.
A D8. Okay. Alright. 15.
15. So, I guess what kind of insight are you looking for? What are you trying to figure out?
If this is a trustworthy voice.
There is nothing about this voice that feels like it is evil or untrustworthy or anything like that.
No gut feeling besides paranoia. Okay.
Yeah, basically. And I will say you're starting to feel a sort of tingling. This tingling that you haven't felt in several weeks now. It's happening. Maybe. She can still turn it down. Strictly speaking.
All right. Ra's going to continue heading east. But
Okay.
with less trepidation.
I'm like, okay. It's still going. So, are we traveling in relative silence as we're just listening to the squelching of our feet in the rain?
I'm still listening to the birds.
Got a little less squelching going on, and at some point when I cast light on my spearhead,
Just cuss.
Ern will probably like start singing a marching song. Like one of those very simple where we have to get through this and this is all gonna suck. Let's do it anyways.
Two songs popped in my head. One was Following the Leader, and the other one was A Rig of Bamboo.
Yes, a Rick of Bamboo. Oh my gosh, I love that song.
The melody
thinking
for
that I'm
the
like-
ants go marching on just came to my head.
Right.
Don't you dare start saying that. I just got it out of my head like a few years ago.
Yeah, Rada is remaining silent because she's listening for the voice, but he's not going to prevent anyone else from doing what they want. Because she's
What
got
they want.
good hearing. She's
We're gonna
observant.
started singing Mark. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She's not going to test to see if the voice is correct.
I was gonna say, if Airden's starting to sing like marching songs and things like that, I'm gonna be singing along with him.
Are you going to pull your now non-sentient drum out? No.
Soon.
So,
No, it's more like Erden's tried that before at some point, and it's just like, wow, my fingers froze up real quick, and that's kind of sucked, so I'm not going to do that.
Alright. So,
Besides, our footsteps are going to be the beat. It's the squelching.
Rada is going to pull an Idea move and cast Light on a Rock. Or at least try to cast Light on a Rock.
okay. The rock lights up.
Light buddies.
Light buddies. You shouldn't be able to do that anymore. Just light buddies.
Alright. So having cast Light on the Rock, successfully cast Light on the Rock, just hold it and just in stunned amazement that it actually worked.
Like, what do I do now? What am I doing with this rock?
Okay, and guys, I may be back.
We're like peer
Well, the
over,
fact that
look at the rock. It's like, wait, did you just light the rock up?
Yes.
Have you been able to do that in a couple weeks or not?
Well, I haven't needed to light anything or cast light on anything in a while, but I've always, well, since you've met me, I've been able to do it.
Well, no. What I mean is, have you not been able to do that recently since you've been trying to find another deity, basically? Is that why this is important?
she is currently bathed in a lot of divine light at the moment, so yeah.
Just check again. Nope. Still a light bulb.
No, we're going to go. I'm going to go a bit higher. And, okay. Someone high or low?
Hi.
I was gonna say hi as well.
So was I.
Alright,
Hello.
so
Hello.
she is going to try using spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And presumably, it works.
Yes. However, normally you're able to pick what this weapon looks like. When it appears in the form of a spear.
Does sometimes show up in the shape of your deity specifically, or their representative weapon. By the way, do you have any clue what power you're drawing on at this point?
No, but
Yeah, out of
something.
curiosity, but there's also a sparkle of excitement in her eyes.
No, but something tells me I will get my answer tonight.
What an adventure!
I know, right?
Rada, that's great. At least I think it's great. I hope it's great.
I mean, what could happen?
Mary,
Yes.
can you give me a high or a low?
Low.
Excellent. So, hey, you spend a good portion of the day trudging through mud, watching Rada test this newfound power that she's not sure where it's coming from. Erden every now and then turning to look at her and like, no, still a light bulb. You know. Idea doing her fidgeting as you walk. And eventually it does start to get to the point where it is getting dark. And it's not just because of cloud cover. And as it's starting to get dark, Rada, because you have a high passive perception, you hear footsteps in the mud. Something four-legged.
32 kegs of beer in the warehouse. 32 kegs of beer.
Just
And then you hear a squeal. And Brina, you hear friends as a pig shows up. Sorry, you
Our camera does not pick up high pitch noises.
not.
Good to know I'm a high pitched noise.
Friend
When I go
George.
into falsetto, it doesn't pick me up either.
Sure.
Friend George busy. But other friend come and say that you need me.
Other
Big
friend?
Big bright pig friend.
Oh, Henry. Okay.
No. Not horned friend. Big pig. Big pig, bright pig friend.
Big pig. Big bright pig friend. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Did you catch bright pig friend's name?
No.
Okay. Yes, if you happen to know where his shop is, that would be helpful.
Big pig friend say make. Big horse friend. Shelter.
Big. What was that again?
This way. Big horse friend. Make shelter.
Oh. Everyone says that a big pig friend shiny pig friend told her that sent her to us because George is busy and that we needed her help. And when I asked about going to the camp, she said, "Oh, just have horse friend," meaning you, of course. Just have her make shelter. So I think she wants you to try tiny hut.
Everyone's gonna cock her head. No. Follow everyone.
Oh, okay. Follow Emerald. Yep, we'll do that. Follow Emerald.
All right, following the boar.
And as you follow her, she takes you not too much further than where you are. And you do come across what looks like a small village. And there's a gate, and that gate has two very large horses.
Oh, okay. That must be the horses then.
She just trots happily ahead of you into the town.
Alrighty. Glamour time.
Indeed, it is glamour time.
I was gonna say, as Rhonda says that, I'll put my Tayaha back in my pack and slide off.
Dad,
Oh,
normally
man.
I'd bother, but we were already wet and muddy. Anybody wants to cause problems, I'll cause problems for them.
I rolled a 9. Brina's really cold. I don't know how well my glamour looks right now.
Did I do this correctly?
Aaron doesn't bother.
We have two who are bothering, one who's struggling, one who's hiding. Okay. Rada's, yours is pulled off pretty well.
The humanish
You know-
ones were like, eh.
And Emerald will lead you up to a tavern. This tavern has some sort of horse-shaped wooden pillars that are carved out of the door. They're very much like their horses. Yeah, it's weird.
It looks pleasant. Certainly more pleasant than the rain and mud.
She says, "Here. You dry here.
What was that?
You dry."
Yes, we should be dry here. Where are you going? Don't tell me you're going to go away again. I've missed you.
Inside it, they let pigs.
I'll certainly ask and see if they'll let us bring you in.
Erna goes up to the door, kicks off some of the mud, and then walks in.
Rada, because again, high passive, Everald doesn't seem to be aware of this. She has a glamour put on her. She looks like a dog. She doesn't look like a boy.
But-
Brina, I don't think you need to worry about Everald.
Why? She's a boar. She's a boar. She's big.
No, she's a dog boar right now.
What?
So you guys look at her. You can start to see the outline of the glamour on her.
Oh.
Dog boar. What's dog boar?
Somebody's helped you look less like you. You look more like dog.
Oh. Maybe it's shiny pig friend.
I have a feeling that shiny pig friend is probably the best bet for this. Well, you probably would be perfectly fine coming in, but I'll sit close to you. How about that?
She'll just nod her big pig head. And you guys go inside. There aren't very many people in there. But those who are, there is definitely one other person who looks a little bedraggled, like they just got here, and they're like sitting by the fire and trying to warm up. And some others who look like they probably live in this town and are regulars and have been in there for a while, maybe after work or something, and are just kind of hanging out. And then there are two people behind the bar, an older woman and a younger woman. And the older woman catches sight of you guys. She's like, oh, goodness, you're soaking wet. Oh, come in, get warm, get dry. I'll get you some ale.
What language?
Cymru.
The Dea does not understand.
Brina's gonna look at Airden like,
If she's lucky, she recognized it as the language of the nice warrior women who lent her a longbow during the battle.
Yes, it is that sing-songy language.
Everyone's like, we thank you for your hospitality. And then turn to everyone else. Go to the fire.
It doesn't take her very long. She comes and drops the ale in front of you, and she goes, don't worry about this first round. It's on the house, just to warm you up.
I thank you.
I guarantee you Brina is not understanding that, and so she's like digging around and trying to dig around with very cold fingers into her bag.
Do any of us speak Cymru?
Only Erden.
Ern does.
Only
Like,
Airden.
Yeah, just turn to everyone else. The first round's on them.
She also comes out with a bottle of water for your pig, your dog,
Mhm.
to which she laps happily.
And Ern will actually turn to the lady and is like, yeah, the rest of them don't speak Cymru, so.
Oh, foreigners. Yes, I suppose I can see it.
Yes. By the way, what's the name of this town again? I think we might have got him a little lost.
Whoa! You hit the wrong thing. Screen pal. Not you. Go away! Go away! Ah! I told you to go away. Let's go with. Okay, I like this one. Rayador. I will write that down for you all.
Thank you.
Rayador.
It reminds me of Ryder.
A little bit, yeah.
I like it.
Medea will sip her drink slowly and is looking around the room. She's not studying anything particularly closely, but she is drinking in as much surface detail as possible because she's just looking for anything to do. And right now that involves looking at the new environment because that's the most interesting thing she's got to do.
Brina's shivering and slowly sipping the ale and kind of watching Everald, making sure Everald's good. Watching Airden as he talks to the lady from the bar. Looks at the other bedraggled traveler by the fire.
I was gonna say, Erden, if you want to try for a wisdom check to see if this place sounds familiar.
Absolutely. It's not bad. It's a 13.
Definitely Kimmery. this is a small enough town that you're pretty sure you've never heard of it. But you definitely feel confident in the fact that you are actually in Cymru, whether you hopefully Palace, as you've been told. But you're definitely confident you're in Cymru. And not just wandering in like uh Scotty territory or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, that's actually what I don't know. I was like, is that still in? Are we still in Pause?
Yes, you're very close to the border with Tibet, though.
Okay.
We are. Do we have a measurement? Oh, I don't know. Ba-ba-ba. Hang on. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, you're about that length. Okay, where? Oh, right there. You're about 30 miles from the coast.
A solid walk.
That's about the mud.
Yeah.
That's if you wanted to head to the coast. You do not want to head to the coast. It's the wrong direction.
Yep.
The fact that you're basically on the border is also a good thing. Because you should be able to just follow the border.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually find the camp if they haven't moved.
Sounds like some time has passed. I wonder how much.
Is there anything I can get you food-wise while you're here?
Oh,
But they have a look at Aridin.
I don't know, whatever's left, I imagine.
Got a little bit of veal left and some some stew. There might be some bread left. I'd have to check.
The let's do veal and stew. 4 meals of that, please.
Okay.
Reno will lean over and like tug very gently on Eridan's sleeve. Ask her for a name, please.
Do you want a bone for your dog?
I don't know. No. She's fine. Thank you, though. By the way, what is your name?
It did not come through at all.
No.
Meredith.
Eridan.
Very nice name.
Very nice to meet you.
She'll just nod when you go back and get your food.
You'll just see Brina like trying to make sure she's sounding it out correctly because I'm like, I know I don't speak Cymru, but it sounds like a name. I'm pretty sure that's the name.
You can understand Aridin's half of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't repeat the name. He just said it was very nice to meet her.
But he asked the name and then she responded.
True.
And Pearl just turned. Yeah, apparently her name's Meredith.
Thank you.
You're
Medea
welcome.
has started to play with her hair as she's surveying the surroundings, which is a very not a Dea thing to do.
Yeah, you alright?
I need something to do with my hands, and I don't know what to do with them. I used to just change my eye color lots of times or something like that, but I have no fidget magic anymore.
Hopefully we're going to be getting food soon. So you'll have your hands for that.
Actually, can I get a look at the other person who's also trying to dry themselves off?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's 19.
19. You're you cannot see their face. They've kept themselves covered. Judging by their build, though, you're pretty sure it's a man. He's kind of leaning forward, and he's got his hands kind of towards the fire. But he hasn't taken his gloves off. So you're not even sure, like, what color skin this guy has, let alone hair or anything. Like, he's keeping himself well covered. In fact, kind of the way he's sitting, you're like, did he fall asleep? Like, is he asleep in his chair? I'm not sure. But he is wearing like traditional Celtic clothing, so he's probably a Celt.
He is Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Thank you. Thank you for saying exactly what was in my brain. Would I?
He's got a bow and arrow.
Pretty sure, like, as Airden's looking at him, because Brina's also been trying to get a look at him. Would I notice the gloves being still on, like that his hands are empty? Like, is he holding nail or his hands empty?
No, his hands are empty.
Okay.
They're towards the fire.
Okay.
Like he's warming them.
I was gonna say.
Uh-oh.
Brina doesn't drink a whole bunch, and so I think like the little that she's drunk so far has warmed her up.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll just kind of like get up kind of awkwardly and kind of walk over and just offer her thing of ale to him. It's like not trying to say anything because he doesn't think because nobody's gonna understand her anyway. It's like
He just kind of like turns to look at you, but doesn't like say or do anything.
And his hood is enough that it's all shadowed, so you can't really see him.
Yeah.
This guy truly is Strider.
Yeah.
Who's that man in the corner? He's one of them Rangers.
One of the rescue rangers. Oh, that might have just aged. Rescue Rangers. I love that show. Man, they went live action that too, and I was really annoyed. It actually wasn't that bad. It was kind of funny. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, okay, they're back. You guys turned into spinning wheels of squares of death.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I was like, but it's okay. You're back. You're fine. It's cool. Yeah. So he's
Okay,
he's not making any attempt to take the mug or anything. He's just kind of looking at you.
Okay. I was gonna say, so I'll just kind of do my little like, just kind of do, like the weird that little offering motion again. It's like,
Bina, perhaps you should save that for Tooth if he ever decides to sneak it away from you.
Shush.
Tooth already has enough liquor in his bag. If he wants something, he can dig it out of his bag.
Technically, the ale isn't liquor. It's actually ale wasn't that alcoholic back then. It literally was just one of the easiest and cleanest things to drink at the time.
Okay.
It's very
So
watered down.
like in seeing that he's not interested in taking it, I'll just kind of draw it back and just kind of go back and sit down.
He watches
Yeah,
for a moment and goes back.
Huh?
He watches you for like walk back to your table or your group, and then just kind of turns back to the fire.
Well, I tried.
Is there anything in the vicinity that looks like could use repair or use tending, or anything like that?
I mean, it does look like many of the chairs and tables have been beaten up and sort of repaired. I mean, this stuff, bar fights happen. But I mean, outside of that, not really. They seem to do a pretty good job of tending to their place. She does come back with the food. And all she asks is a silver piece for it all, because it is the last of it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, as Ern's like fishing out the money, he also looked at her. How much is I guess a room for all of us tonight?
I do only have one available. Is that okay?
That'll be fine.
All right. The total cost for a room is 4 silver pieces.
What's the conversion for gold from gold to silver again?
Gold is greater than silver
Yeah.
in the world.
I know.
I wrote it down somewhere and kind of.
See here, human world, 1 gold is equal to 24 silver.
There you go.
How much did you say the cost was again?
4 silver.
4.
Mm-hmm. Right. I need to remember all of these. Okay. Oh.
And Ern will actually look to everyone. Here's our food. It looks like it's 4 silver for everything. Both to eat and to stay.
I'm out of silver pieces, but I have gold. And I have some bronze as well, but I can't quite remember the conversion. Cold. The ale's helping and the fire's helping, but my brain's a little muddy.
Fine, I'll cover
Okay,
for now.
we'll hand a silver piece to Airden.
Idea has silver pieces?
Not a lot left, but she has a couple left.
Rada will hand over.
Ern will hand her the 4 and arrange everything at a table.
Right.
Do you say
And
something,
Mark-
Arthur?
No, well, is it 4 each, or is it 1 for the food and 3? Like the room is going to be an additional 3 for the group. Like, is it 4 for
Additional
everyone?
4.
All right, additional 4.
It's 4 for the room because you're all sharing the room. It's just 4 for the room.
All right.
And 1 for the meal.
Well, I've already
Geez,
paid a
inflation's
silver.
really
I paid a silver, so
She's giving you a discount on the room because she's cramming all of you in one room. And you're soaking wet and she feels sorry. Okay. Normally it'd probably be like 10 for the room because, you know.
Is this a fancy place?
Did you see the carving?
Yeah,
No.
the carvings are
Well, yes, it's fancy, but you also suspect that this is probably the only inn in town,
They
which
have a
does
monopoly.
they have a monopoly.
they can charge whatever they damn well please. What's everyone else going to do?
And
Sleep on
Marco,
the
if you had said anything about the money conversion after I had said what I had said about Brina's brain being kind of muddy, I did not catch it.
I don't think he did.
I
Okay.
You
didn't.
should be.
I was gonna say I can't remember what the conversion rates are.
24
But I'll
silver
give up.
to 24 silver to a gold.
Yes, but what about bronze to like the rest
Stand
of them?
by. I'm doing the math.
I just
Bronze to
looked it
silver
up.
75.
7.5 bronze to a silver.
Oh.
Yep.
I'll hand over bronze because that's what I have.
Looks like 40 copper to a bronze.
40 copper to bronze. Okay. So
Jeez.
I'll hand over 8 bronze because that's what I got.
Anyway. You're going. I promise. I haven't.
Thank you all for the assistance with conversions. I've written them in my margins so that I can hopefully refer to them better.
Yeah, I would put it on a sticky note and then attached it to my character sheet.
It's been a long time since we've had to refer to those.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on the first page of my notebook.
It was in the Discord somewhere. I just searched terms until I came up with something that was in the original post.
Which part of the channel?
Other game mechanics. Almost 3 years ago.
Horrifying.
Because I'll look it up and I'll put it in a note in my character in Fight Club so that I have it on hand. But I very greatly appreciate it.
This campaign's been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
My players were saying that first campaign that we did went on for a while, and that was just something I ran concurrent with my college experience. Well, 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Meredith feels sorry for us because we're soaking wet, and she's stuffing us all in a room, and we get a discount. Excellent. And now we have food.
Mm-hmm.
Erm pulls out a baguette and cuts a few chunks for everyone. Tosses the rest back in.
Dea is excited about stew, and the baguette seems like it will pair well with the stew.
I'm excited about
I'll
the
soak
stew as
up the
well.
dregs.
Oh my goodness. So you guys are enjoying your food, and while you're enjoying your food, the man that would have been by the fire stands up and heads toward the stairs to go up to a room.
Have any of the regulars been doing anything, or just kind of just sitting around chatting with each other?
Mostly just sitting around and chatting with each other. There does seem to be a dartboard made out of some interesting wood. And they all seem really good at it too. Like you're hearing lots of cheering and things like that. It doesn't sound like anybody's drunk per se over there, but they've definitely got a buzz going. A happy buzz.
So Ernstine just to look around. Is like, so, what a lovely day it's been. Yes.
Everyone said George was busy, but that the big shiny pig friend sent her to get us or to help us.
Lap.
Hi, Albus.
Rada stands up and goes up the stairs.
Okay, bye.
Alright.
It has been quite a day if you think about it. We've been all over the place since this morning. We woke up at Dietland's.
True.
We spent half a day trudging through the mud.
Yeah. I spent a little less time trudging through mud, but there was still a lot of mud to trudge through.
Rada, as you go up the stairs, the man is standing at the top watching you, and then as you come up, he turns and opens the door to one of the rooms and walks in.
So he was like standing up as if he was like waiting to see if I was following.
Yeah.
All right. Just gonna follow in.
Close the door.
She'll close the door.
Thank you. He'll remove his hood, and holy crap, this man has got some violently red hair. And he is he's kind of, the best way to describe the color of his skin is sort of bronze colored, but he's got these sort of like rusty rosy red cheeks. And very, very green eyes, like emerald green eyes. And he's probably what you would like, what would be considered an attractive man. He's very tall, broad-shouldered. He kind of plops down on the one bed that's and says, "Thank you for trusting me, Rada."
You're welcome. You don't appear to be one of the gods of one of my pantheons. May I know who I am speaking with?
My name is Lou.
Big shiny pig friend. Sorry, as
And-
soon as I said that, I knew it.
Right. Unfortunately, Adea does not remember the incident with George and carving the pig that was a symbol of Lou very early on in the campaign, because that was an Amror moment.
It was a festival.
Or shopping around for a new deity. My condolences for the lawsuit. We were friends. We used to go out drinking together. And by drinking, I mean it was mostly cranberry juice. She got obsessed with that when she discovered it. No, I don't know that you know much about me. Because you're right, I'm not from one of the pantheons you're familiar with. I am of the Celtic pantheon. And I can tell you now, I'm not the typical one you would look for, but I'm versatile.
Okay.
I'm associated with a lot of things. Craftsmanship, war, healing, sometimes even the sun, but that's because they mix me up with my father all the time. Very frustrating. We're not the same person. However, while I may not be the typical thing you were looking for, and I apologize that I am not a woman, I don't know if that'll be a problem.
No, it won't. I do have a preference, but I am not. Not even if I had the choice, I wouldn't be exclude myself to just goddesses.
See, this is why I like you. You're very open. No, I think I can be very helpful to you as well. I am very much in the realm of helping, and like my sister, sometimes I probably get more involved than I should, but where's the harm in it? No. I've given you a little taste of what you could get from me. And I'm even willing to try and see if I can fiddle around with some of that dark things you like. I'm not a darkness deity, but I can ask around. Like I said, I'm flexible, craftsman. I can figure this out.
Adea would be proud.
I must say I am very much intrigued.
Oh, happy to hear that. And I'm sure you figured out I'm the one who's ever loyal to you.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about that, but in hindsight, it does make sense.
Yes. Well, I have this very strong affinity with boars. Occasionally I'll turn into one myself, but the last time I did that, somebody tried to hunt me, and I'm not eager to go back to that.
I know the feeling. I mean, even though I wasn't the target of the wild hunts, my companions were.
Ah, yes. Wild hunt. Yes. We've tried to deal with that. The Fae can be stubborn. Gotta love the two-headed man. Supposedly, they're my father's warriors. Not very good at keeping control. You didn't hear that from me. You really did not hear that from me. You want to be punished.
Um, I don't know what to say. I
Well, I could use some bravado and say, be my cleric, but I'm not that kind of person. I got the hope. Fingers crossed.
You and the Data are certainly putting up much more of a encouraging front than Neptune.
Dagda got you. Can't he just give me this one? Tell ya. He's great. I love him. I do. But I'm so much cooler. I mean, I have all kinds of cool things, like a magic spear and the whole boar thing, and I can make things, and if I can make it, I can teach you how to make it. And healing, lots of healing power.
That is certainly something that our group has been lacking, though thankfully we haven't needed it. Yet.
Wow, you keep picking fights with my other sister, and you may want.
We're not trying to pick fights. We just end up in places we really shouldn't.
I think your one friend was picking a fight.
You mean the first time?
I feel like
Yes.
Lou would be in the chess.
He wasn't really in a right mind at the time, being filled with grief.
That's true. It's true. Ah, yes. Taliesin. Oh, Taliesin. He was one of mine. You know, I could fix that. I got ripped out of the drum. That wasn't really your fault. That was the necromancy. And because he was one of my druids, I just pop him right back in that drum. Dilemmas.
Oh, dear goodness.
That is certainly a tempting offer. Though I think it may be something that I want to discuss with the rest of my companions first. I know none of us had the opportunity to say goodbye, I guess, the second time.
And to be fair, you didn't really get to say goodbye the first time either.
True. I must confess that speaking with you, you are the one I'm most, at least out of the three deities that have spoken with me directly, you're the one I'm closest to saying or accepting your offer up front.
Means I'm doing something right.
Yes.
Just to let you know, Neptune should not be bothering you. My sister was most displeased that he threatened a paladin she's fond of.
That's
I want to say that's karma.
For Neptune? Yeah. He's kind of. It's been a continual problem with him, honestly. He gets this big thought in his head like he's all that, and then instantly my sister just puts him in his place, and he still thinks he can beat her. Tell ya. Saltwater.
Roman deities.
Yes, actually, in general. Though I must say, my counterparts were at least sweet. We had jam sessions. Can you picture Lou just jamming out with the muses?
jazz? Because I don't know if you heard that comment from Dominic or not, that he thinks Lou listens to jazz.
Lou would be into jazz.
Yeah, Lou would be into jazz, according to Dominic.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I read that opening passage to you guys from my novel, where he's living in France, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Jazz, man. That's what he said. He's got his baguettes, got his jazz.
Yes.
What else does he need?
For his sister to stop ruining the world? But yeah, Neptune's not a problem.
I can tell you, I do know some of the other gods who've got their eye on you. One is I gotta make sure I pronounce this right. Sorry, Almas. What happens for my lamp? Slavic. So how do I pronounce that and not sound like an idiot?
When you write down a name, you don't write down like how to pronounce it right below it.
I don't have enough space. Oh. Oh. I spelled it wrong. Zyweek. I know Zyweek is interested in you. Rhiannon's been eyeing you. But she's already got the paladin, so I would say no.
Respectfully.
No monopolies.
Respectfully, I can see it.
It's fair. But I mean, come on. And then Alaz is also interested. King Yan.
I would say this.
Just pause for a moment, because Erden, for some reason, while you're just downstairs eating and conversing with your friends, you just feel this sudden, like, disgruntled, like, I don't know, you're just like, what? Like, you suddenly feel disgruntled and you know that it's got to be leaking from somewhere else because you're like, I'm fine. I've got food. I'm warm. I'm dry. I'm with my friends.
Yeah, it's just like, like kind of just think in his head, trying to like feel on the connection. Do you want to talk about that?
I will say you just get a resounding no.
Yeah, Earl might just take a slow sip of his ale, like, yeah, you definitely need to talk about this, but you're in denial, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
Oh my god. Not my place.
Like,
I didn't feel this like.
Not my horses, not my barn.
There's baby.
I think what it is actually Rhiannon being annoyed.
my brother's
Okay.
talking smack about me.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Okay, like I'm pretty sure that's what this is. It's like Dominic
You
said,
can
like
just-
he missed it. Like I'm pretty sure this is Rhiannon, like getting disgruntled over the fact that her brother is trying to steal away Rada.
Chance to talk to her yet. Rude. We'll say because you have siblings, you know the sibling disgruntled feel, and you're like, hmm.
I can hear the exact tone that occurs with particular sighs and groans.
You're just like, ah, got it. Anyway, back to you, Rob.
Now knowing who, at least name-wise, wants to or has their eye on me, I at least want to hear what they have to say, but out of everyone I've spoken with, I like you the most.
Flatter me. I just can't do it. I'm not the Dagda. I can't. Worse. I'm not. Oh, I forgot his name.
The name of the doctor?
No. Even worse. I'm not a Ron. I can't just be pompous. I can't do it. It doesn't work. I start getting imposter syndrome, and I'm a god. I shouldn't get imposter syndrome.
There's another point for you is humility.
I try. Well, I don't even try. It just happened. Wow. Suppose at this point I've said my part, my piece. It's up to you. Unless I really, really want you, and I want to just force myself to on you and make you my cleric. But again, I'm not Iran. I can't just can't do it.
Yeah, at least as of this moment, you're the one that I'm most likely going to accept.
Good luck, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon. I will continue to have Everard lead you to camp.
Thank you. And I will be sure to speak to my companions about Taliesin.
You do. He's just gonna like flop back on the bed, stretch out, just like look like he's going to sleep.
And Rod is just going to be like, awkwardly leave unless he stops her. He's like, I guess we're done dating, so I'll leave.
I'll be honest. Okay. All right, you heading back downstairs?
Yep.
All right. What you guys doing? Just eating and talking and sipping tea, ale, tea.
If Ada's mostly gotten through her stew, she's
Mhm.
probably at intermittent points surreptitiously trying to make some of those noted, like they've repaired this, but they there's still some evidence of breakage, just casually trying to mend them so that they look even nicer, because the stew was good. It was good to have food to focus on, but Adea's getting distracted again.
Is Dea the type of person, if they're handed a deck of cards, they would build a like a card tower out of it?
Maybe eventually she'd probably shuffle it a bunch of times first, just because the repetitive shuffling of it would make great fidgeting.
Well, Ern does have a deck of cards. If you don't want to spend your entire time mending.
She'll kind of look at you and think about it, and she's like, "This might be a good idea." Man, maybe I should learn some magic tricks as she like starts shuffling the the deck of cards.
All right. So Rada returns
I don't
to
know any
the.
card tricks though.
Rada will return to the group and sit down. Say, I have something to talk with all of you, or particularly you two, pointing at Brina and Erden, in the room.
Did I do something?
Did I do something?
The man appreciates the gesture, but he prefers whiskey and ale.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, how did your divine meeting go? Sorry, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I'm way too curious.
Me too.
Later, when we're in the room, Erden.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, you can't have done that much bad. I didn't get in trouble yet.
It's nothing bad. I will say this, it is nothing bad. It's just, puts a hand on Ern's shoulder. If anyone's going to have the most visceral reaction to this, it's going to be him, but I don't think it's going to be visceral as in a bad reaction.
Visceral. Wonderful.
Should we go to the room now then?
The tooth pokes his head out of the bag.
Well, where's the room?
Yeah, I don't know which room we have, but I'm good. I mean, I know I finished my food, and everyone can come up and.
She'll have handed the key to you, Erden, just transaction and talking to her. The key says 10 on it.
Da-da-da.
It was weird. You did that, like you moved your hand and your screen like did the weird zoomy thing that cameras
Mm-hmm.
like, oh. All right. We going up to the room? Or are we still downstairs?
Yes.
The suspense is killing me. I gotta hear about this.
After picking up some cards, Adea may be shuffling cards for fidgety reasons, but she doesn't gamble that much, so she doesn't actually have a good shuffle.
So the room you're in,
cards everywhere.
at the very end of the hallway. It's kind of tiny. Only has one bed in it, but it does seem to have an extra like straw mattress in there. So you guys can cuddle.
Something tells me Rod's not going to be on the bed. If everyone else is.
And I just cuddle up with that. I don't know.
Okay. So, Ellen, you are correct. It was a divine meeting.
Yes.
I offered ale to a god.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, well, I'm glad I just now know he likes whiskey over ale and that he didn't just, I don't know, strike me down or something. Sorry, go ahead, Ron.
This deity was Lou.
No.
Hey, Lou. Lou's like as Brina's like processing, look at Emerald's like big shiny pig friend. Oh, hey. Player me knew that as soon as Emerald gave the description. Brina me is now putting it together.
Adea, who's probably not terribly familiar with the Celtic pantheon, keep talking.
Honestly, out of the 3 deities that I've spoken with so far, I am most likely going to go with him, but he has informed me about other deities that have their eye on me. We should keep following Everald to the camp.
Well, that's good.
Brina will just pat Emerald on the head. Good job, Emerald.
Big shiny pig friend put pictures in mine, so I know where to go.
Excellent.
And he offered to do something about Taliesin.
What? Like
What did he offer?
Well, it was more like he was suggesting an offer. He said that Taliesin was one of his druids, and that it wasn't our fault that he got thrust out of the drum. It was the necromancy. So
What, you want to put him back in the drum?
this is the reason why I did not ask him to do this. I wanted mostly your input, but also Brina had a terrible reaction when he stopped speaking.
I think he's lived long enough. I think he needs a damn break. If that happens to be an eternal rest, I will fight for that.
Even though I wish I got a chance to say goodbye, I don't want to pull Taliesin away from resting.
As long as whatever he's up to is better than just eternal abyss. That'd be sad. I have no clue what that necromancy stuff does, but it was clearly not good stuff.
I'm with you on that. As long as he's in a happy and comfortable place, and maybe instead of bringing Taliesin back, he could send Taliesin a message for us so that we get to say goodbye.
Yes,
I'd be happy with that.
well, I also imagine that having a third parting with him might be a bit too much for you.
Yeah, just a little bit. I can only imagine how much worse it would be for you, Erden. You knew him better than I did.
Yes. I was happy that he was actually removed from the drum. It was nice to hear from him again, but at the same time,
He did get on your case a lot.
it was wrong.
And I am glad that I did not make the choice to bring him back. It was not my decision to make.
So, are you a cleric with Lou now, or
I am most likely to become a cleric of Lou, but I'm gonna wait till I hear the other deities' offers.
Damn straight.
Fair
Also,
enough.
apparently one of them, one of the deities that has their eye on me is Rhiannon.
But isn't that who you call Erden?
Yep.
Not that she can't have multiple people, of course. I'm assuming, but
I can see both arguments, and to be honest, I am leaning with Lou's opinion on this.
what's
Azura?
his opinion?
Hmm?
What's his opinion on it?
That I shouldn't, because she already has Erden.
Azurata? Whoever you decide to go with, you will be absolutely terrifying.
I think you mean that in the best way possible.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Well, I'm
Sorry. Oh.
Thank you for bringing me, reminding me of the look on your face back in Thrinakia when you tried running away.
You're welcome.
Oh goodness.
I'm
All right.
curious. What does this Lou do?
Well, among other things, he's a god of crafts.
The day his
Like
eyes light up.
healing and roads. I'm pretty sure he has something to do with seeing things. I was like, I'm on. The list was too long for me to bother listening to.
He was
Like all the rest of them were easy because they're confined so much. He isn't.
He's not. I will say, Erden, the big thing you remember, because you do know that Taliesin was a druid that followed him. He is a god of the arts, so he usually has all of the bards following him. And he is known to be a god of prophesying. And so you remember Emrys being told, hey, reach out to this god. He can probably help you. And Emrys fighting it tooth and nail because it's like, I don't want this. I don't want to reach out to him. Maybe he can just get rid of it. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But those are like the two big things you remember because you remember there was a huge list and you were like, I'm going to doodle.
Yeah. It's like, can I learn about something else? This feels boring and arbitrary and.
like Brina's recalling as as Eridan's listing off all these different things that Lou is associated with. You went to a festival with Prince Ors. That was where I first discovered bread. I'm pretty sure that was a festival to Lou. It has something to do with bread. I think. Am I wrong in this?
Tooth just pops his head out and goes, no, he is not a bread god.
Okay.
But sometimes he gets mistaken for a sun god and you can bake bread in the sun.
Is he a sun?
No.
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 Okay.
He even said as much. Well, he said that people often confuse him with his brother. No, not his brother. His father. I think.
Father.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a really nice man, Lou. I really like him.
Well, I'm certainly glad I didn't offend him by offering him my ale. I was just trying to be helpful because he didn't have anything in his hands. I didn't want him to go without something when we had something. But I can understand him wanting whiskey instead. Well, okay, I can't understand it personally, but I get it.
Brina, I think it'll be a very terrible day when you manage to offend somebody. I fear that day.
Yeah, there are lots of days that you fear.
Well, yeah, it's pretty healthy. You know? Fear makes you go faster. makes you want to survive more, all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of fear,
Indeed,
and
you got like,
because it's close to the time that we normally close, I will not start another set of roleplay, but that is basically where we're like, speaking of fear, that reminds me that I have some things I want to talk with Brina about, specifically Tong, because she knows the most about that situation. But Erden can sit on that.
You're
um,
also welcome to just
That
do
is
that in
true.
the role.
That is true.
yeah, we can do that in the roleplay.
All I can say is, nice person, makes cool things. I mean, it's your choice, Rada, but it seems hard to go wrong with that.
Well, especially since ever since I lost Artemis and you lost Hephaestus, we've got the only effective healing that we would have needed would have been Erden. No, Brina does have some healing, but
A
Erden
little
has
bit.
the most. What was the most capable healing if we needed it? Thankfully, we didn't.
Yeah, I could cast spells. I have a reservoir, and I can even do it without magic as well.
Yes.
Like,
Healing.
as long as I'm surviving,
Can't
I
do
can
that.
help all the rest of you.
But
You
it's
have healing word, but it's at least something.
that is big. That is another factor why I might go with Lou. But again, I'll wait for the others to get into contact with me if they do.
By the way, did you ask him about what his requirements were of following? Because, Artemis had that whole, you can't be in a relationship and stuff, and I don't know.
I didn't. Though I get the feeling that he didn't have a lot of requirements.
I mean, he's a god of the. You've gotta let creativity.
Hey, that's not a problem for Rada. She has her fuel. Oh, great! This is where Rada becomes a bard.
Nah, you don't become. You won't be a bard. Don't worry. I think all two of us already have it covered.
Things.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably should keep that in mind, I guess.
I mean,
So there's always requirements.
he did make sure to ask if I was alright with him not being a goddess, which I'm fine with.
Okay.
Yeah, I think out of the ones that I've spoken with so far, Lou, Dagda, Neptune. Oh. And speaking of Neptune, you have to thank Rhiannon for putting him into his place because she was not happy about Neptune threatening you.
So we don't have to fear boats more than normal?
Probably not.
Lady of the Lake.
I mean, I'll still do it anyways, but
Actually, that's
yeah,
a good
okay.
question.
Yeah.
Was it Rhiannon or Lady of the Lake that stepped in on that one? Because both of them kind of have a vested interest in Airden. Rhiannon's the goddess that he is the paladin for, but Lady of the Lake has also had quite the influence.
Rhiannon's not competition for Neptune. Neptune's a water god.
Yeah.
And
Well, it was.
so Lady of the Lake actually makes
It
sense.
was one of them.
Yeah, it's the Lady of the Lake. She can literally sap his power and just be like, time out. Go think about what you've done.
Because they're not my paladin doesn't stop me from being invested in them.
He is invested in the man that I love, so you're gonna leave him alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a timeshare investment, damn it. And I'm
Yeah. I think that is where we're gonna stop. So we can have more role play go in the play if we wish.
Yep.
Um,